Hi there and welcome to my channel. I'm Egla and we are going to be uncovering the topic on being a perfectionist. So let's get into the video. Hi there again. So being a perfectionist is something that I have battled with for so long. I have always wanted tasks to go around the way I want them. And with that, I'm just going to kind of embarrass myself and say that I have I used to plan my life into small bits and I would want them to actually work out the way I wanted to. And with growing up, I was able to understand that that's not how it's going to be. I had always put timelines in my life where I expected to have achieved some stuff, to have done things, and once I actually got on board and I was like, oh my, this hasn't happened, I had written down my goals and I was seeing that they're not coming into fruition. I was so disappointed and I thought that there was something wrong with me, but turns out so many people also do this. You just like plan out your whole life and expect it to turn out the way you wanted it to, and sometimes it doesn't work out. And that is why you need to flush out that mentality of being a perfectionist, because things may fail to actually turn out the way you wanted them to, and it's going to break you. And so let's actually just talk about this and put the perfectionism out through the window. So we've already done the first step, and that's recognizing the issue. The issue here is that we're pushing ourselves too much and we need to be patient with ourselves. We need to be patient with our journey, and by that, we've already acknowledged that there's something that's not supposed to be here, and that's being a perfectionist. And so by us identifying that, we've already done the first step, and we can go on to step number 2. So here we need to embrace our journey and our mistakes. We need to embrace every single thing that we have done so far and to actually appreciate it. It could be that we have been longing for a long time to actually just relax and not pan out everything that we're doing in our lives, because sometimes you actually get into a vibe where you're just putting tiny things into details. It's going to make you run mad. I have always done this. So let's just take a case in scenario. I have been doing this for so long, so I'm just going to also reference these points with some of the things that I've done in my life. And of course, you're welcome to laugh. And also just tell me in the comments if you've done the same thing and we can go through this. I'm feeling a little bit thirsty, but I don't want to leave here because I feel like all the nuggets that I have to be said now, or I'm going to forget every single point that I have in my head. But if you're watching this, kindly just jug on some water and be hydrated. So yes, on this point, it could be that there are some mistakes that you've done in your journey. Perhaps you wanted to have achieved a certain goal by the time you were 21 and you have not achieved it. So probably this kind of goal that you wanted to achieve, it could be that along the way there are some things you hadn't accounted for that you could have changed. Now, I never want to do this about, dwelling on the past or seeing that I did a mistake. And so what is it going to help you with if you keep dwelling on the past? But if you want to be able to pull yourself out of this, you need to understand that you can just check the kind of things that you could have done and try to find a way on how you can just turn this around and do this in the opposite direction. If you have been accustomed to doing things in an ABC kind of manner, try to now do it in not in an haphazard way, but just try to not put it to sink into order, so that maybe the issue was just putting things in order, but you just needed to actually go with the flow. And so just try and tune some of the things that you did, but don't necessarily dwell in the past. Just look at all the things that you have done. On that note, I'm going to actually apply some lip gloss because my lips are dry. And I'm back. We can go on to step number 3. Set realistic goals that you can actually achieve. Yes, I had to say it. Sometimes if you have the tendency of being an overachiever, you might put in some goals that are not going to be able to be achieved, like in that kind of frame that you've put. It could be that right now I've said that I want to buy my dream car, which is so freaking expensive, and I don't have the money to do that, and I'm saying that by the end of the year I should have done that. And the kind of goal that I have is to probably have a startup, and I have no idea how much money I'm going to get within those months that are left. If you cannot set attainable goals, it's going to be so hard for you, because once it comes crumbling down, you are going to think that you're the problem. But in actuality, the problem is that the goal that you set kindly just needs more time, and it has nothing to do with you. It's just the matter of time, and you need to be able to actually devise proper plans. And I keep saying this, but I think it's actually going to take me to step number 4, which is break your goals into smaller manageable portions. I talk about this so many times because it is true. Let's say that I have said I should have bought that car by the end of year, and it's a very expensive car. What is it that I can do to break this goal into smaller portions? I can say that for me to get a car, I need to do something first. I need to get my driver's license. And so I can devise a goal on getting my driver's license before I get that kind of cash. Once I'm through with this, I can set another goal of actually learning on how to become a really good driver. And once I have done this kind of portion in my goals here, you know, you're still going in a really nice order because you're trying to get into a really elaborate goal, but you're trying to break it into smaller portions. Once I become a really good driver, I can try and say, okay, what's the issue here? I want a really expensive car, yeah? And if it's not really possible, maybe I can't even afford a regular car now, what can I do? I can just try and say, okay, I can't afford this big car, maybe I can buy a regular car. But again, I also don't have money for a regular car. So how can I actually get myself to this goal? I can try cutting down on my expenses so that I actually save more. I can try venturing into another business, as I also do my startup, to get more finance, because again, you can't just get that car through just saving. You also need to invest. And so those are the kind of conversations that you should be having with yourself. And once you do this, you open this big world and you're like, oh, I had not accounted so many things for me to get this car. And you can actually find out that for me to get this big car that's so expensive, it's going to take more than months. I need to actually put in years' work to get this kind of car according to the kind of finances that I'm pulling in. And so that's actually how you can set your very big goal into a proper planned site, and you're having small manageable portions that will get you to your ultimate big goal. How is that? We've cracked this. If you're a perfectionist, I want you to just say that I'm no longer a perfectionist. That's the kind of attitude that I had before, but now I am just going to be realistic with everything that I do. I am still the achiever. It doesn't mean because I'm setting realistic goals that I'm not good enough, that I have not been the kind of achiever that I've always wanted to be. It's just that you're saving your own peace. Yes. We go into step number 5, prioritize what matters. Now again, we can go into my scenario with the car thing. It is that, you know, I'm prioritizing the car, but have I put other things into consideration? I want to start my business. Am I going to take all that money that I'm getting through my business or through my startup towards the car? There are other things that I need to put into consideration. Are there other things that I can use to boost my business? Do I need to actually up my advertising? Do I need to actually get in more stock so that I can be able to please my customers? You need to actually prioritize what is important, because when you have this tendency, you're always just going to pick, you know, the highest achieved goals. You're always going to want to have bigger goals, but you need to actually just prioritize what is important, because your life is a journey. You have different chapters in your life, and there are some things that are probably, you know, should be on the top of your list by your current age. And then probably as you grow older, as you get more wiser, because you are going to get wiser, that is not proper English, as you get wiser, you are going to actually get different ambitions. You are going to have different goals. You are going to have different priorities. And so you need to figure out what is it that I should put at the top of my list right now, so that I'm also not burning myself out in the long run. And then you go on to the last tip, which is letting go. You need to let go of so many things that are troubling you in terms of your goals. One thing that I am so sure of, as someone who has been going through emotions of being a perfectionist, being so hard on myself, is that you tend to not let go. You tend to not let go of your mistakes, of things that you failed to achieve. One thing that you should know is that you not attaining your goal, you failing, is quite okay. And you failing is actually another achievement, because you are able to actually learn from your mistakes, and it's proper to actually have those mistakes, rather than getting to that high place that you've always wanted to be, and then you start making those mistakes at that particular point. You are going to fall down really, really badly, and it's going to be so hard for you to pick yourself up. So if you're dealing with this, just let go of this kind of mistakes that you're having. Let go of those feelings of guilt, those feelings of you not being enough, because you're enough, and you not attaining certain goals is quite okay. You're going to get past this, and you're going to achieve so much that you want. I do hope that that was helpful. In case you have any questions, feel free to comment in the section below, and you can also tell me the kind of videos you'd like me to create. In case you loved this video and the rest that I have posted, kindly like, share, and subscribe to my channel so that you can get more videos like this. Hope you have a lovely day. Bye.